sometimes, but I wish I could have presented you the original picture that flyer took. Anyway, let's do the sky mirror. Let's find out what's coming up for you for the next 10 days. From the 21st to the 30th, Friday. So, let's see, what's important here. We got a new moon at the end of the month at 10 Aries. Now there's another Aries kick. Hooray! We're off and running! So when I went to calculate the equinox, it looked like 6:58 a.m. to 7:22. Couldn't get the darn thing to print, to show me the minutes, seconds. So anyway, there is a little range of the thing. I think I remember something about the Great Pyramid, moving over from one side to the other in like 5 minutes or so, but not sure. What do we got here? Now we got the same old T-square, huh? Doggone it. Pluto in Capricorn gives these Capricorns power. Jupiter in Cancer gives the Cancer people a lot of extra wisdom to oppose the Plutonian Capricorn guy here. So that's the opposition. That's where the action usually is, huh? Jupiter fighting Pluto, Pluto fighting Jupiter. Who's going to win? Well, Jupiter's going to move up here a little bit further and go past 14 degrees and make his opposition to Pluto known. And there'll be a lot of things happening. There'll be gun laws, there'll be police things, there'll be, stand your ground laws and stuff will get rescinded. There's a lot of it there. The weird thing is that over here you have Uranus. And Uranus is not happy with either one of them. He's in between Jupiter and Pluto. So first comes Jupiter, and the lawyers and professors and wise people stand up, licensing people. This could be immigrants too. He starts it all. Come on, you guys, I'm not putting up with this anymore. And then bang, in comes Uranus. And groups of people, and the ACLU and the gun lobby and there's all these characters come on board that are kind of intellectual scientists, huh? And they kind of put a hold on things for a little bit. And then Pluto comes on at 14. So it's 11, 12, 14. And Pluto makes the decisive moves and kind of gets his way. So this T-square, is the development of it is really interesting because these are large, slow-moving planets. Let's see, what else we got? We got Mars coming up. Venus actually is moving up to trine Mars. So the pretty girls are, right now they're not in such good shape because there's a semi-sextile seesaw over to Pluto here. So Venus kind of has to take half time out and let Pluto have his way while everybody squabbles. But as you get into the end of next week, Venus is very tightly in trine to Mars, 24, 22, 23. So it could be very romantic for, some people. The air signs, huh? Do you know if you're an air sign? Yep. Libras and Aquariuses and Geminis. They're all going to have some fun. Let's go around here day by day. Oh, here's another noteworthy little 30-degree angle here. This guy is between Saturn and Mars. Now Saturn is restraint and laws and conservative cold, and Mars is heroes and hot. So what you got is an alternating hot and cold here, and they go back and forth. It's just that time of year, I guess. But this is also the military versus the politicians and the bankers. And yeah, like the Russians have decided to safeguard part of Ukraine. Well, let's take a look at it day by day and see how it goes. Now, after all that learning about the equinox, check it out. Here on Thursday morning, when the thing really goes forward, it's on Saturn. The moon's going by Saturn. It's going to be depressive and cold, but very responsible. And enough said. Moon in Scorpio. Saturn's going to be there in Scorpio for a while too. So Friday, the 21st, the moon's in Sagittarius, and it starts with a confused morning. Can't communicate here around breakfast and between lunch and Neptune. Square to Neptune, ugh. Square to Mercury, ugh. It starts kind of neat because here's a trine to the sun. Early in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We feel like we got purpose and we're off to do a bunch of stuff, only to get caught because we've lost our keys or we misplaced things or something of that nature. So starts with optimism, in the middle, confusion, and then finally about midnight, 1 o'clock, we have the trine to Uranus, and little technical expertise clicks in. Saturday morning, moon's still in Sagittarius on the 22nd. There's a nice sextile to Venus. And, Saturday morning's a good time to stay in bed and, yes, relax. Continues right through Saturday. Saturday night, there's a sextile to Mars. The two of them are tightening up exact at the end of the week. And Mars says, let's get out and do something, feel macho. So Romeo and Juliet are doing kind of good here on Saturday. Not bad at all. Sunday, well, the moon's still in Sagittarius. You'll have that romantic, heroic feeling. It'll go, before lunch, it changes into Capricorn. And the vibes change. Yeah, Saturday afternoon, a square to the sun. Can't get nothing done now. Buggers. And then here's a sextile to Neptune. So I guess Sunday's for music and church and reading Jesus and looking at birds. And when you see Father in the sky, say, hello, Father, out loud. You got to talk to Spirit out loud. It's a good day. Sun. Realize that's named after the sun. Here's Saturn. Here's Venus. Monday, obviously, is the moon day. Well, Sunday afternoon, it starts getting pretty jittery. There's this period of religious, almost sensitivity and neat talk that comes along Saturday night or Sunday night. But as you go into late Sunday night, early Monday morning, SHIT hits the fan right here. Now there's a lot of bad guys all lined up here. The sun is not participating. And all of the singing and the music and stuff is great in the Sunday evening. But when you get to Monday morning, here's the opposition to Jupiter at 10. Trying to do too much. Everybody's up too early, too much noise. Then along comes Uranus. Glitches. Battery won't start. Horns honking. Ugh. That Uranus would be here early in the morning. You're likely to have a disturbing wake-up. And finally here about breakfast time, the moon hits Pluto, and people either lose it or gain control. One or the other. The tension continues and everybody's rushing and people are angry all the way through Monday. It's not a good day. No, with the square to Mars here, which happens about midnight or so. Now the one hope we got is that when Mars is squared and losing his temper, Saturn's going to come in just within hours. Saturn sextile. Saturn says, come on boys, let's settle down here. Here's the judge. No fighting. Hope it works. The moon continues through Capricorn until Tuesday afternoon. and hopefully leaves you with a nice Saturn feeling. Hopefully. Tuesday, after lunch, the moon moves into Aquarius. The whole system changes. Tuesday night after dinner, there's a nice, kind of late, there's a sextile to the sun. You can get a plan done, get your ambition back. That feels a lot better. Moon's in Aquarius. Now, Wednesday the 26th starts in the morning with a sextile to Uranus. And that could be very nice. You'll be on time. You might feel a little bit alone, but that's not necessarily bad. Anyway, there's some technical achievement here. Think about that pyramid and what those guys had to do. Probably most of those big pyramids had that quality. As you go through Wednesday, you're kind of in the Venus zone, huh? And when you get to Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, even Wednesday afternoon, first there's a brotherhood in the morning, see, with Uranus sextile. But when you get to here, Mars pops in and says, "Come on, Juliet." And son of a gun, Juliet is kind of happy to join the dance. And this is very romantic, very sexy. It does kind of get cut off with, squares to Saturn. No money, no time, no scary, oh, cold. That kind of stuff happens here at 23. That's about here. So that really kind of cuts it off, probably about middle of the day, Thursday the 27th. And just after lunch is when the moon shifts into Pisces. And once it goes into Pisces, all the vibes change again. Starts with a late night visit from Neptune on Thursday the 27th. The moon goes into Pisces probably 2, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You'll feel it shift from the intellectual side over to the feeling and the empathy and, priest, artist, doctor, musician. So now is the time for church. Late Thursday night, stay up late, get to know Neptune a little bit. He isn't just, bad drugs. There's good drugs. Anyway, Jupiter there is in trine. That's Friday between breakfast and lunch. And there's a lot of truth and wisdom coming out. Feels pretty good. As you go through Friday, moon in Pisces, you'll hit this sextile to Pluto, and that'll be about Friday night. Powerful, very powerful. Don't overdo it. You know that the best policemen there are around never draw their gun, and the more venomous an animal is, or an insect, the less it bites. Yep. Things that don't have much venom, not much sting, they sting you all the time. But those that have bad stings, they pretty much leave you alone. Unless there's something serious going on. Anyway, it's a decisive time, Friday afternoon and Friday evening. There's a lot of communication late into the night as the moon goes by Mercury here, about 18 Pisces. So be prepared to stay up late talking. Could be very nice. Saturday, the 29th, we've still got moon in Pisces. And as you get to the middle of the day, there's a trine to Saturn, and everybody kind of settles down a little bit and gets an organized plan together. Here's Saturday night, and the moon's shifted into Aries. And you're coming up to a nice new moon, Sunday. Be with somebody you love. The new moon, however, is followed pretty closely by the square to Jupiter, too much, and then the conjunction to Uranus, and everybody's going to feel weird and different and strange, and unusual things are going to happen on Sunday. And finally a square to Pluto, and police come in and say, "Stop that, you guys!" So Sunday, I would be staying home myself. I'd take my church on Friday. Anyway, that's kind of the way it is these days.